Which duo would you say is closest to LeBron and Anthony Davis?
Well, they are number one, obviously, two MVP caliber players on the same team. And you could even argue the 1 and 2 players in the game at the moment on the same team. They're historically great. They match up. You can match them up against the greatest combos of all time, and they would hold their own. And we saw that Jokic and Murray were not a match for them. I'm not going to take Jokic and Murray for that reason. But I am going to take two guys off a team that I said was I think the second best team in the West this season, and that's the Dallas Mavericks. I'm going to take Doncic and Porzingis, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I'm going to start with Porzingis. Don't think about Porzingis as you've seen him recently, because he's trending in the right direction. Think of him on the Knicks, right? When we last saw him on the Knicks before the injury, he was averaging around 23 points. He was shooting a lot from three and shooting around 40% from three. And he was blocking like 2.5 shots per game. He could defend in space for a guy his size especially. He can defend the rim. He was a defensive game changer. He would come in the game, the entire offense of the other team would immediately change. He just makes the other offense much less effective. In fact, I thought of him back then as primarily, his primary value was on defense. But then he was giving you 23 points a game and trending toward more. He looked to me like he was going to win an MVP in his career. He looked like that type of player to me. So he's a unicorn. He's, picture Kareem with 2 inches more in height, but he can shoot the three. Not that he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but you get this point. Like, think of one of these really, really tall guys. Now give him 2 inches more in height, make him like a real good defender for the modern game, and let him shoot the three. That was Porzingis. Now, he got hurt, catastrophic injury. It takes a while to get back, not only on the court, but then to get back to where you were. I still don't think that he is where he was at the time of the injury originally. He got another procedure on his knee. They're going to be very careful with him. He's going to miss like the first month or something like that. But presuming he gets back not only to where he was, but on his upward trajectory, he's a monster. And he's not even the best player on the team. The best player on the team is Luka Doncic, who I believe will win the MVP this year. The dude almost averaged a triple-double with 30 points for a winning team. He was a monster in the playoffs. And by the way, there is room for improvement. Yes, on the defensive end, but even on the offensive end, he can shoot the three better than that. You can see his form and see he's going to be able to shoot the three better than that, but he took a ton of game, and by the way, was only hitting about under 32% of them. What happens when he starts to hit 34 and 35% of them? You know what's going to happen? What I just said, 30-plus points with a triple-double. Only, unlike Harden early in his career, Perk, he has shown the ability to elevate his play in the playoffs. I think Doncic is an MVP player, or certainly an MVP caliber player. He's that already. And I think Porzingis is much closer to that than people realize. They also both have real size. There's no LeBron or AD. I think those two will come closest this season.
Well, you're wrong, Max, and it's not even close. After LeBron and AD, it's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. We talking about two of the most skilled athletes to ever touch the damn basketball, and it's not even a debate. When you look at Kevin Durant, he's the best scorer of all time. 0 flaws offensively, an underrated defender. He is going to come back on a tear. I told you this once before, that he missed 1.5 years of basketball. For KD, that's torture. And he cannot wait to get back on the court. And then you add Kyrie Irving, one of the best, if not the best ball handler, the best below-the-basket finisher that this game has ever laid its eyes on. Comparing those two up on the same team, they're going to be an offensive it's going to be a masterpiece what they're going to be doing offensively. And you look at Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, both of those guys are capable of winning the MVP this year. One or the other. It could be Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving's mind is right, he's one of the best point guards in the game today, if not the best point guard. So you have two guys that cannot be guarded one-on-one, that cannot be guarded by a double team. Two of guys that are the most skilled to ever play the game. One of them is the best scorer to ever touch the basketball. That is the second best duo behind LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And it's not even in a debate. Look, no disrespect to Luka. I'm a huge fan of Luka. But KP is not healthy, so he won't be starting the season. We don't know how he's going to come back. Like you always say, almost always, if a guy have three surgeries on his knees at 7'2", he might not come back the same way. So we don't know how KP is going to come back. But we do know that at the start of the season, we're going to see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So I know that much. And they the second best duo behind LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Well, there's a lot wrong with what you just said. Number one, you're right about the knee surgery, of course. And we have to see, although Porzingis was very, very good when he was healthy in the playoffs last year. And in fact, I thought with Porzingis and Doncic on the court, they were clearly better than the Clippers. I think they would have won the series if he stayed healthy. But he didn't stay healthy, and that's legitimate. You know what else? He's not coming back from an Achilles, Perk. KD is coming back from an Achilles. And I know they're playing pickup ball and everything in California, all these kind of things. Let me see it on an NBA floor. Let me see Durant still be Durant. Then I might agree with you. We haven't seen that yet. And in terms of Kyrie Irving, not only has he had chemistry issues, almost wherever he's gone, his presence on a team has somehow, even though I agree, if it's a skills competition, just pure skills, obviously KD and Kyrie, because Kyrie might be the most skillful player I've ever seen. You know, like Kobe Bryant, you have a few guys where you think, oh, my God, they can do everything. Kyrie is one of the best handles ever. Kyrie can shoot the lights out. Kyrie is the best finisher under the rim of all time, at least that I've ever laid my eyes on.
I just said that.
But too often, teams he's been on have not performed as well with him on it. So, like, how do you figure that one? And in terms of an MVP, Kyrie's never sniffed an MVP. Never sniffed it. He's been in the league. He's been healthy in the league. He's been on great teams. He's been on bad teams. He's been the primary ball handler. He's been on teams where his usage rate was not as high. He's had great teammates. He's been in the league a long time. He has never sniffed an MVP, Perk. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.